Very glad you found the Backyard Broadcasting Podcast channel. Thank you for downloading. Shawn, Carey, and we have our Backyard Business Spotlight, our monthly conversations with Jason Fink, the president and CEO of the Williamsport Lycoming Chamber of Commerce. This conversation was recorded on Thursday, July 31st. Jason, always great to have you in studio. We appreciate it, but boy, summer is just flying by.
Yes, it is, Shawn. It is definitely flying by. Not real happy about it. I'll be honest.
You've been busy.
It's been busy. It's been good, but I also love summer, so it's one of those things where I want it to slow down a little bit.
For sure.
Well, I appreciate the pace, but I want it longer. How about that? I just want it longer.
Yes, I know.
Give me more days.
I don't know. We're going to be football and back to school before we know it.
Don't say that,
please.
I know.
But we got a lot going on between now and when that hits for sure. And you'll know, and I say the word hit with a pun intended, and you'll know what we mean when we get there here in a second. I want to talk about Ryne Sandberg. He was in town a couple of years ago for Grand Slam Parade Grand Marshal, then diagnosed with prostate cancer, beat it, came back, and sadly lost his life earlier this week at the age of 65. Just talk about the experience that Ryan had here in Williamsport, and truly one of the greatest second basemen ever to play the sport of baseball.
Yeah, I mean, all the accolades that he earned during his playing career and actually his managing career were well earned. However, we got the opportunity, just very brief, to be able to meet him. And I will tell you, one of the best people that we had here, just a true gentleman, phenomenal with the kids. We always bring in these ball players and make sure they have the opportunity to speak to the players that are here for the World Series. And he took the time after doing his public part of his speaking to be able to take time to talk to them individually, those who came up to him. He was phenomenal. I will tell you, he's just a really great man, and very sad for his family because obviously we had an opportunity just to be with him 2 days. But, the family is the one that you always think of.
Loved it when he was with us on parade day. He had the very rare powder blue Chicago jersey.
Yes, he did.
Cubby's got to bring that back.
Yeah, no, I'll tell you that I'm old school, so I love that look. So bring back the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, creamsicle orange, all that.
I thought they're going to wear that for a couple of games this year. I thought they were going to.
Yep.
So let's now go to another Grand Marshal for the 2025 Grand Slam Parade. We're now less than a few short weeks away from the big night on Tuesday, August the 12th, stepping off at 5 p.m. from Maynard and West 4th.
Yep.
So go ahead and tell us, who is the Grand Marshal this year for our Grand Slam Parade?
Yeah, we've got very excited to be able to have Billy Wagner come in.
Hot on the heels for you, just in Cooperstown. Just got in the Hall of Fame a few short days ago.
Yeah, and I know, he went in under the hat, obviously, for Houston, but he played a good amount of years with Philly as well during his long career. And so we're hoping to be able to see folks come out, those who have their Billy Wagner jerseys from when he was with Philadelphia, put them on, come out and, cheer him on.
Yeah, he had a longer wait to the Hall of Fame, I think, than a lot of people realize. Should have got in a lot sooner.
Yeah, it's some folks who you look at their numbers and you go, okay, there are folks in the Hall already. And you'll go, how did they get in? And there are some people sitting there not in yet.
Makes for a great conversation.
Oh, of course. That's the one great thing about baseball in particular.
Conversation that's been going on when people are up on the highway, on the Beltway, and they travel off to the right to get up on 15 North, and they look over at the old Susquehanna Supply Company property, and they say, what's going on over there? Well, that is going to be the lumber yard, and you and some dignitaries in the area last Friday had a special kickoff ceremony from dump to diamonds. So let's break down the lumber yard and what we can expect there in 2026.
Yeah, this has been a project that's been long in the making. Unfortunately, COVID, one of those things that got hit by COVID. We had bought that property back in December of 2019. And it was the former Susquehanna Supply property, and actually there was another 10 acres that was right directly beside that we purchased from the Danaker family here in the community, and we were ready to move forward with building that project, getting started in 2020, 2021. Unfortunately, COVID happened, and we ended up having to put the project on hold just because of the fact that we had our work to do for the business community and getting them through that time. We re-energized the project in 2023. Did another feasibility study to make sure that we were still on track with making sure it was going to be a viable project. Came back actually stronger. Travel sports continue to grow during COVID, and we're real excited about the fact that we're finally able to be able to get this project underway. And it'll be 7 fields that will be there. There will be 6 220-foot fenced fields that will be there, and then 1 collegiate baseball field that will be 400-foot fenced. That will actually be a 7th field as well for tournament play when they need to have that field available. You can bring in portable fences for that. All of it will be athletic turf, so it will be synthetic turf fields. Once it gets done raining, you can play on those fields in 15, 20 minutes. So,
going to be amazing.
It is. We're real excited about it. I will tell you.
We talk about projects that have an economical boom. I mean, that's one of the perfect definitions of that with the lumberyard.
Yeah. You look at the travel sports industry, youth sports in particular. A lot of kids are actually looking more to travel sports than they are even their high school teams, which actually as a one who grew up playing high school sports kind of saddens me thinking about it that way. But you also have to follow where the trends are. Obviously, we have a great brand in youth sports with Little League baseball here in our community. This is something that we looked long and hard about. It's a significant investment for us as an organization, but we believe it'll pay dividends back for the community. You look at the development that's already taking place along the Maynard Street corridor. Some of the information on our feasibility study was shared with a couple of those developments, and we think that played a part to be able to bring those here to the community.
So for those that are listening to us now on the podcast channel, as we give you this conversation recorded on Thursday, July 31st, since you brought up Maynard Street corridor, brand new fast food restaurant, highly touted, highly anticipated, much hyped. Chick-Fil-A is now open in Williamsport, right on Maynard Street.
Yes, yeah. I know that people have been chomping at their chicken, I guess you could say, instead of the bit, the horseplay of it. But they are open. They opened at 6:30 this morning. So folks, if you were wondering, hey, can I go? You can go grab something now. I'll be honest, I was not there to be able to see how many people were in line. But
I was tempted this morning cruising in when I got into town at 4:00 this morning. I was running a little late though. I was tempted to jump off on Maynard just to see if there were people in line after 4 a.m. this morning waiting to get their first taste of Chick-Fil-A in Billtown.
I said something to the owner of it and said to him yesterday when we were talking, I said, how early do you think people will be there? He goes, I don't know. We're not really known for our breakfast items. He goes, so, here in the Northeast and people aren't really that big of breakfast people. I said, oh, I will tell you right now, I think 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, you're going to have people in line. So hopefully they had some cameras out there. We're able to get some footage to see when the first people arrive.
And you can check out the Chamber Facebook page. Ribbon cutting took place yesterday. I know you were involved with that. And their outreach has been, Chick-fil-A's across the country are terrific. And they brought up about 200 plus sandwiches and sent them over to UPMC on Tuesday. Yep. And yesterday, a $25,000 commitment to Feeding America and the Central PA Food Bank.
Correct. Yeah. That contribution will go directly to the food bank here locally to be able to help, the need that is here still in our community. Very excited, though, to see this type of company coming in. They're a very quality company.
Also excited for this company bringing more jobs into Lycoming County. This was earlier this month. We'll touch on this before you go. Vern Incorporated in Muncie. Governor Shapiro was in for that regarding a new hydrogen manufacturing plant, looking to get over 60 full-time jobs when they get that up and running here in close to a year.
Yeah, we were excited to be able to bring them here. This was a project that came through a local manufacturer, PMF Industries. They were working with this company, and Vern was based in California. It was a development company at that point. They were really working through being able to develop their manufacturing process. They got to the point where they got that perfected, and they were looking at, okay, do we stay here in California, or do we get closer to some of our key suppliers? PMF is one of their key suppliers, but they also had suppliers elsewhere in Pennsylvania, but then also in Ohio and Michigan, a couple of other states. And so we were, talking to them about why they really should be looking at being here, being able to, not only be close to one of their key suppliers with PMF Industries, but more importantly, the quality labor pool that we have here, and then also access to, institutions like Pennsylvania College of Technology. But then you also have Lehigh, you've got Carnegie Mellon, you've got Pitt, you've got Penn State, all of these institutions that they were able to tap into, the likes of Stanford and other institutions in California. We have actually better institutions here in Pennsylvania, we believe. So when we talked to them about it and, showed them everything, and then also brought in the state, state was actually able to help us as well. We were fortunate enough to be able to get them to come here. So great company. We're excited to be able to see them grow. The nice thing is it's a different energy company. They're working in the hydrogen sector. So from that aspect of it, as we look for, that transition fuel in the future, that might be one that grows and takes hold. So we're excited to be able to have them here.
And of course, we're excited about the Grand Slam Parade, behind the scenes with the Chamber, finishing touches for parade preparations, everything falling into place for the 12th?
Yes, everything so far. We're in the process right now of getting everything communicated out to all the people who are participating in the parade. All of them that are, in the parade are going to get their lineup details. We're in the process right now. That's a couple-day process, so everybody should have everything by Friday. Then it's last-minute things, and it's the good thing is this has been 19 years now, so we've got our processes down.
Well, looking forward to seeing you at the parade.
Yeah, definitely. And one last thing I need to actually jump in and share with you is just a reminder, actually, folks. We have Drum Corps International coming in this weekend as well. We used to have DCA, Drum Corps Associates. We actually now stepped up to the top level and being able to host Drum Corps International. This will actually be one of the last stops for their touring competitions. This will be I believe, their third to last competition that will be taking place here in Williamsport before they're actually a week from tonight. They will be at Lucas Oil Stadium, where there will be 70,000 people there for the Drum Corps International Finals.
And this is Saturday night, STA Stadium at Williamsport High School.
That's exactly right.
It's going to be a beautiful night for that.
Oh, it is going to be perfect. I will tell you. Yeah. Looking forward to that.
Right. See you at the parade.
Sounds good.
Jason, thank you as always. Jason Fink, the president and CEO of the Williamsport Lycoming Chamber of Commerce, and sharing the big news. Brand new Baseball Hall of Famer Billy Wagner in town as Grand Marshal for the Grand Slam Parade coming up on Tuesday, August the 12th, starting at 5 p.m. at the corner of West 4th and Maynard in Williamsport. Backyard Business Spotlight, In Touch, bonus content, interviews, and so much more can be found here on the Backyard Broadcasting Podcast channel. You'll find a link on any of our Backyard Broadcasting websites. Also, right inside the app, tap the app and tap podcast for radio on demand, because Backyard Broadcasting is also Backyard Podcasting. You can find our app on Apple, Spotify, Google Podcast, Amazon Music, and Audible. Hit subscribe for our podcast. You can hear them anytime, anywhere. I'm Shawn Carey. Join me weekday mornings at Carey's Corner on Country 105.1 WILQ and late afternoons on Classic Hits 93.3.